I don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen.
Everybody digging my chili when I'm laying down. That is not true.
Did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe. $7 million for reef fish management. $25 million to combat Asian carp. $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico. They had a very bad original concept. It was carried out poorly, and the cover-up was one of the worst in the history of cover-ups. Very simple. Bad deal, should have never been thought of. Somebody really messed up, and they had the worst cover-up ever. And where it should have stopped is at the deal standpoint, what they thought about it.
Oh, seriously, hot. So I've been. Seriously, hot. So I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of 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 sauce, a lot of. Oh, seriously, hot sauce, a lot of sauce, a lot of sauce, a lot of sauce, a lot of. Oh, seriously, hot. So I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
They're not accountable to anyone. I get 10 to 12 million views a month, and they won't come out and address my progressive audience. They won't come out and address Bree's audience, or Katie's audience, or Justin Jackson, or you. They are not accountable to us. They're accountable to the whoever the fuck themselves. Let's not kid ourselves. As Chris Hedges taught us a long time ago, the people attracted to politics are the most mediocre of people. They're not your friends. They are elected servants. And start fucking treating them that way.
I hear Brownie is seconding you in the background.
They're not your fucking friends. They're the people standing in between us and fucking healthcare. They're putting their fucking personal position ahead of that. Don't fucking forget that.
The reason the market is doing what it's doing is people are sitting at home getting the checks from the government, okay? And this fair share is a bullshit concept. It's just a way of attacking wealthy people, and
Look, talk about education. School, not daycare. School. Help. They don't know quite what to do. It's not they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Play the radio. Make the record player on at night. Play the radio. Play the radio. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night.
Mr. Sam, if I could just get the sentence out. We can talk about Jimmy Dore can go and kill 15 kids tomorrow, and I still believe in force the vote.
Everybody digging my chili when I'm laying down. That is not true.
Oh, seriously, hot. So I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce. Oh, seriously, hot. So I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce. Oh, seriously, hot. So I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of a lot of raw peppers.
Get your words straight, Jack.
And he's like this, and we were, I need water, help me, I need water, help. And this is on live television.
And I have a simple proposition here. I'm here to ask you for your help. Where I come from, You don't get far unless you ask. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created we hold it by the go. You know the thing.
No good. No good.
You know, the truth of the matter is that when you look at some of my policies, in a lot of ways, Richard Nixon was more liberal than I was.
Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about, we're chanting. Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting.
Watch Hillary examine the terrain. Watch a campaign with the man Tim Kaine. Tim Kaine in the membrane.
Pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ. Then I have an Article 2 where I have the right to do whatever I want as president, but I don't even talk about that. You have to go home now.
The reason the market is doing what it's doing is checks in the government, checks in concept, checks in the government, okay? And this fair share is a bullshit concept. It's just a way of attacking wealthy people.
He was not a loser. He was a patriot, and the people left behind there were heroes.
Really?
And I resent.
Are you talking
like
about
hell.
Hunter? Are you talking about
I'm
Hunter?
talking about my son, Beau Biden. You're talking about.
I don't know, Beau. I know Hunter.
Yeah,
Hunter
you know
got
Beau.
thrown. Hunter got thrown out of the military. He was thrown out, dishonorably discharged.
That's not true. He
For
wasn't dishonorably.
cocaine use, and he didn't have a job until you became vice president.
Hello, users, and welcome to another episode. Okay, I'm done with that. Welcome, everybody. This is Above It, motherfucking all. I'm trying to set up my microphone because, like a professional streamer, of course, the professional streamer that I am, I didn't have it set up. So I'm going to eat breakfast live on stream. I decided to wait. So I'm going to eat breakfast live on stream. So we got a Quest bar. Some more flavor, and I'm going to be consuming soy milk out of a Jack Daniels glass. So, ba-da-boom. Democracy. I don't mean to detract from the segment too much, but you're a little bit of a dumb bitch. So, Russiagate is not a binary. It is not Russia stole the election or Russia's never talked about the United States ever. You seem to be under the impression that Russia and everyone in Russia just doesn't know that the U.S. exists. And they've never talked about it. They've never discussed anything about U.S. politics. That is factually untrue. Now, did Russia steal the election? Of course not. That is ludicrous. And liberals like Rachel Maddow fucking spewing that garbage are dumb as fuck, motherfucker, right? You have no argument there for me. But to claim that Russia would have no interest whatsoever in who the president of the United States is, that requires you to not know jack motherfucking shit about politics. So, I'm just trying to say, it is not accepting in a micro way. Again, to claim that a foreign leader does not care about other leaders, especially the superpower of the fucking world, I'm sorry, that's ludicrous. That's fucking dumb shit. just like the U.S. cares about who the leader of Venezuela is or who the leader of Bolivia is, the Russia cares about who the leader of the United States is. Does that mean that they stole the election? Woo! No, it doesn't. But to claim that Russia has no interest whatsoever in who the leaders of their premier opponents are, that's just ludicrous. You have to be a dumb motherfucker. I'm sorry, dumb motherfucker. I'm trying to break you out of this because, again, you have this binary way of thinking. Either Russia doesn't exist and they've never heard of the United States, or they stole the election. You can have nuance there, right? You can read the facts. You can look at the news reports. You can see what these motherfuckers are saying. It's not that difficult, okay? It doesn't have to be a fucking grand conspiracy.
And by the way, I don't think that's some grand conspiracy. I think this is sort of what power is. I mean this at a sort of high level.
It's a pro-war. Again, if you want to say Russia stole the election, yes, that is a pro-war establishment narrative. But if you want to say that Russia is somewhat interested in who the leader of the United States is, that's called no fucking shit, jackass. Just like how Iran is interested in who the leader of the United States is, just like how Israel is interested in the leader of the United States, just how China is interested in who the leader of the United States is, just how the United States is interested in who the leader of Chile is, just how the United States is interested in who the leader of Iran is. It's to not understand that concept. To not understand the concept that other countries would care about other countries, I'm sorry, that requires you to be in such a filter bubble that you might just be the dumbest motherfucker alive. Seriously. Seriously, dude, think with your fucking brain. Do you seriously actually believe that Russia never heard of the United States? They just never heard of it? Well, why would Russia care about the U.S.? You've never heard of that? I have read Chomsky, motherfucker. You know what Chomsky says? Chomsky says that Russia has very much so interests in U.S. Diplomacy and foreign policy and who their leader is. Noam Chomsky agrees with me. So don't cite Noam Chomsky to be, oh, Russiagate, bad. I'm sorry. You're a fucking idiot, buddy. I'm sorry, man. But, like, come on. This is ludicrous. This is ludicrous. Anyway. God damn. And again, saying that Russia is a bad country is not pro-war establishment narrative. Russia throws people in jail for being gay. But you can't talk about it, because then, oh, the establishment, woo! If you even mention the fact that Russia despises gay people, then you're a pro-war! You want war! Woo! Like that, like, I'm sorry, man, but you are a dumb motherfucker. In the words of our former president,
only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
Thank you for tuning in, though. Russia's not a good country. Putin's not a good leader. Democracy, are you listening to me? Democracy. I will literally derail my whole show if you get on Discord and talk to me, voice to voice. I am offering you a slot on my show. Do you want to have a conversation about Russiagate right now with me? Yes or no? Not voice to chat, but voice to voice. Hop on Discord. Let's do it. How are the s'mores? They're great. Everybody, I'd like to introduce to you the Daily Dullard. Oh. It's actually 2021, Schnedwab. But yeah, like again, if you want to see some batshit crazy conspiracy theories, right? Go watch MSNBC, go watch Rachel Maddow's show. You know what I mean? That shit is wild. But again, if you like want to say the whole world is binary, right? I'm sorry, that's just dumb. Right? It's just dumb to claim that that Russia has no interest whatsoever, or that Putin has no interest whatsoever in the government of the United States. I'm sorry, man. You gotta be a dumb motherfucker. They killed journalists, they killed gay people, they killed trans people, right? These people are fucking nuts in the leadership of Russia. To not acknowledge that, right, just means that you're not anti-imperialist, you're not anti-war, you're not pro-free speech, you're just anti-America, and all of your politics are anti-America. Which, by the way, again, I have no problem with being against America. Democracy, come on the show, buddy. Come on, come on, come on. Discord, hold up. Copy and paste. Copy and paste that into Discord. Add me on Discord. Let's have a conversation right now.
And then they have cans of soup.
That's what I call a fucking breakfast, everyone. That's what I call a motherfucking breakfast. What conspiracies do I think might be real? Aliens. It's not far-fetched to believe Russia stole the election. I think it's far-fetched to say that Russia stole the election. Now, what I do think, my genuine opinion on it, is, of course, there are Russian troll farms. No fucking shit. So did they influence voters with fake news on Facebook? Abso-motherfucking-lutely. Now, does that mean that they literally hacked voter machines? No. However, if you read the news, you'll know that Russia was able to hack voter machines. That was something that they were capable of doing, and that was discovered a couple years after the 2016 election. Personally, I think voter machines are garbage. I just don't like them. When I went to work for Bernie Sanders' campaign in South Carolina, they had voter machines. In North Carolina, we used paper ballots. But in South Carolina, they have fucking machines. You just click the button and it's like, whoa, buddy, what? You just click a button and that's it? Nah, bitch, I want a paper-ass ballot. That's my opinion. But again, to claim that somehow saying that Russia is bad, you know, to somehow claim that, I mean, like, it's like pro-war establishment liberal. I'm sorry, man. But again, it's just fucking dumb. It's dumb.
Oh, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce.
I clicked on the wrong video clip, but that was like a total fuck up on my part. I clicked on the wrong one. But whatever. Whatever. I mean, whatever.
Everybody digging my chili, what I'm laying down, that is not true.
Fucking everybody digging my chili, what I'm laying down. Digging my motherfucking chili. Alright. Okay, y'all. So now that it's very clear that Democracy is not going to be debating me, I gave them an opportunity. I am not quite free. If you want to come on later, that's fine. Give me a time, give me a place, add me on Discord, we'll work it out, buddy. I'm interested in bringing you away from the Jimmy Dore Conspiracy Network. That's my interest, okay? That's my full disclosure. You know where I'm coming from. I want to deprogram you and I want to educate you, okay? That's my goal. So if you want to try to debate me, I'm fine. But what is Discord? It is a platform where you can have voice chat. What about Obamagate? What about Obamagate? I still cannot believe that on January 6th, when Donald Trump was doing that speech, he literally leaned in and said, Barack Hussein Obama. Like, you know, because that's like a meme. Like, that's what people would say in, like, 2009. Right? That's what people would say in, like, 2008, 2010. And then it's like, for him to say that in 2021, just lean into the mic. Barack Hussein. That was incredible. My channel has some good views. Thank you, thank you. I think my channel has all good views, but hey, that's just me. So by the way, I just want to like reiterate this. You know, people have told me I should plug more. I don't really, know if that's acceptable with the terms of service. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to post all of my bullshit in the chat. So if you want to give me money in any capacity, feel free to do so. I mean, like, that would be pretty cool. But if you don't have the funds or whatever, I mean, obviously, you don't have to do so. But I would appreciate it. Carla, $20. I'm so down to support you as much as I could afford. It ain't much, me lady, but it is so worth it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Especially in this time of hardship. But yeah, I do appreciate that. Because again, me getting outside funding away from YouTube, especially because I'm demonetized, but it gives me the ability to not worry about anything. So I mean, I appreciate that. So what is wrong with that? He's indeed Hussein. It's a big-time dog whistle, implying he's Muslim and bad, depending on... Okay, so you have to understand, in America, right, we committed a genocide of over 1 million Iraqi civilians, right, because of the idea that Muslims are evil, right? You have, like, what, Saddam Hussein or whatever? So the idea, right, 9/11, war on terror, genocide of 1 million Iraqi innocent civilians, okay? All right. Then Barack Obama runs for president in 2008. So what a lot of people would do during that run is they would say his full name, Barack Hussein Obama, because you have to understand, Americans are dumb as fuck. Americans, in the words of our 45th president,
only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
So they're dumb as shit. So when people would hear Barack Hussein Obama, they would go like, oh God! He's a Muslim! Like, that's what they would do. Because they're dumb as fuck. So that's what that means. Like, it's no problem if you just want to say, like, Joseph Robinette Biden, Barack Hussein Obama, what is it, George Walker Bush or whatever. Like, that's no problem if you're just saying their name. But when you are Donald Trump and you go into the microphone and you go, Barack Hussein Obama, like, I'm sorry, man, but, like, Christ. When you get mad at trans person, do you use trans slur like Buck Angel did? Yo, okay, should we do this? Should I get into Buck Angel? I really feel like I should. Okay, for those of you that don't know who Buck Angel is, I barely know who Buck Angel is. All I know is this guy is relatively popular. And he is very notably against trans women. He hates transgender women. Now, for those of you that don't know, Buck Angel is a trans man, right? So Buck Angel is a trans man. I'm just gonna bring up all of my material real quick. So give me a sec, and then I'll get into it. But he's a trans man who hates trans women because trans women are socialized as male, and therefore they want to rape people or something. It's like, it's very ludicrous. So wow, I keep forgetting. Like, this guy is just like, I mean, again, it's incredible. This is incredible. I'm trying to get all the tweet links here. Alright, are y'all ready for this? Are y'all? Okay. So, okay. He's a Trans Am? Yes. He's a transsexual man. Oh my god. Alright, okay. Are you ready for this bullshit? This bull-ass shit? Okay. Alright, so I got into a Twitter argument yesterday. I know what you're thinking. I know, right? So I got into a Twitter argument yesterday. And this was like where I noped out. So we have this person who says Black Women Matter. I blocked him because fuck him, right? Black Women Matter was arguing in a fucking Twitter thread that I somehow was tagged in. I don't even know why. But she said to me, where is this? She said to me this shit, and this made me block her. And then I muted the conversation, and I blocked her, and I was done with it, okay? So she says, I'm not discriminating against trans people. I believe that vulnerable spaces should be sex separated to protect the female sex class. What? This includes everyone born male. Sexual assaults and rape is disproportionately a male human offense. The world is not a perfect or good place. The goal should always be to protection and prevention of sexual and physical abuse. There's no reason why separating by gender when sex proves otherwise. It only makes sense to separate vulnerable by female and male sex, not identity. So basically what this person is saying is that trans women are socialized as men, and therefore every single trans woman on earth just goes out and rapes. It's going to go out on a rape spree, facts and logic. And therefore you can't have a trans woman ever be anywhere close to, as they would say, a real woman, because they've got a low IQ, right? So I blocked this bitch, and I was like, I'm done, right? But a couple of my followers were like, I'm not done. You've insulted my favorite streamer, that's me, and so I'm going to, defend their honor. So some of my followers went in there, right? And then, okay, so this bitch, tags Buck Angel somewhere. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find it. Okay, so we're talking about Buck Angel, and then this person says, Buck is my internet friend. He even accepts his female reality. Oh my god. Now again, I will get into this in a more whatever, but, and then so this person snitch tags Buck motherfuck, alright? And then he just comes in and says, this bathroom question is gaslighting, period. Gaslighting. The question you pose is gaslighting because the answer has nuance. And no one wants nuance. So it's creating a divide that is unnecessary. So no one wants nuance, right? No one wants nuance. So when I tweet, right, I see this. Someone links me. Hey, Buck Angel's in this thread. And I'm like, what? Because I muted the conversation. The conversation was muted, so I stopped getting the notifications. And then someone DMs me, is like, oh yeah, we're in an internet argument with Buck Angel now. And I'm like, what the fuck? Right, so I go in there and I see this shit. And so I respond, I quote tweet saying, social reject rich kid gonna try to nuance his way out of supporting rights for his own people, LMAO. Again. So the bathroom question has nuance? No, I'm sorry. There is no nuance. Bathrooms should not be gender segregated. If you think they should, I'm sorry. The year is 2021, not 1312, okay? Get your fucking wild saloon motherfucking ass out of here. You know what we used to do as humans for literally millions of years, right? We would shit, not even in an outhouse. We would just shit. Like we would walk in packs of hunter-gatherers, and if someone had to shit, they would squat over and shit, right? So I'm just saying, we had thousands and thousands and thousands of millions of years of this kind of behavior to automatically at some point claim, oh, we need to segregate the bathrooms. I'm sorry, it's ridiculous. Now, yes, are there people that assault people in bathrooms? Absolutely. But you know what? Statistically, trans women are way, way more likely. We're talking about like 9 times versus 1 time out of 10. More likely to get beaten, killed, or raped in a bathroom, right? If they go in there. Because people will see, oh, if they somehow suss you out, they'll try to beat the shit out of you. They'll try to call the police on you, etc., etc. So I, when I was earlier in my transition, often got like made fun of or attacked, and not physically but verbally abused going into the bathroom. It made me very uncomfortable, right? Buck Angel says, it's gaslighting. I never went into the bathroom to go on a rape spree. Ooh, we gotta go rape. That's not a thing. That doesn't exist, right? So Buck Angel decides to quote tweet me, and I want you to understand this, okay? So Buck Angel quote tweets me at 3:45 p.m. That's extremely important. So, Buck Angel says, now I am a social reject rich kid. This is the best insult ever. I actually think they are talking about themselves. Now, if you look at my bedroom, you can very clearly see I am not rich, right? Like, I am, like, I've got a sizable PS1 game collection, but I am not rich by any means, okay? This motherfucker is rich. So this guy is trying to say that I'm somehow a social reject rich kid. I'm in my 20s. I'm like, I fucking have like maybe $1,000 in my bank account if I'm lucky, right? So like, I'm relying on this fucking stimulus package, which by the way, Buck Angel probably won't qualify for because he's got a lot of income going on. So this guy quote tweets me at 3:45 p.m. Okay? So I want you to look at the retweets here and the likes. 2 retweets, 79 likes. All right, not bad. So around this time, I respond and then, I leave it. I go and do something else. Right, I have a thing I was doing. I wanted to do some stuff yesterday. So I left. I went to go do something else. Little did I know that this guy would quote tweet me a second time 3 hours later. Right, and so like the first one, I guess clearly didn't get enough likes. So this guy quote tweets me a second time. Right, all of a sudden, right, we have a bunch of TERFs in the replies, and I blocked a bunch of them that, like, literally, right, like, I was gone for, like, 6 hours, right, and I, like, look at my Twitter after I'm done with what I was doing. I look at my Twitter, and I scroll through, and my brain is like, no, because I'm seeing, like, 60-year-old grandmas saying that, like, I'm a rapist for suggesting that trans women shouldn't be assaulted, right, and, like, I'm seeing, like, and I'm like, what on earth is going on? Is this because of the Buck Angel thing? Like, what I thought was several, like, maybe at this point, like, 8 hours ago, right? And then I see he tweeted me again. So it's like, okay, interesting. And this one got a lot more attention, right? And so, the shaming me for creating my own space in the world and not being a victim. What does that mean? I was homeless, cracked out, and suicidal. So yeah, I got my, T-slur shit together and made something of myself. Try it sometime. What does that mean? This is like a typical Republican pick yourself up by your bootstraps thing, right? So then a bunch of other people kept saying, trans people aren't poor, poor people are poor. If a trans person is poor, it's not because they can't get hired because they're trans and they get discriminated at every single job opportunity. No. It's not like they can't get hired because, if they do, maybe they'll get killed in the parking lot after work one day. No. That's not why trans people are typically poor, right? 40% of trans people have attempted suicide. It's not because society shuns them. It's just because they're lazy, right? And so I got literally, I'm not even joking, hundreds of notifications over the course of these couple hours of these fucking grandmas telling me that I'm like either a rapist or lazy or like too like, just dumb to get my shit together. And it's like, what? Like, have you ever spoken to a trans person ever, Buck Angel, besides yourself? Chances are, I'm going to be honest, citation needed on that one, because I know thousands of trans people, right? I've been a streamer for a long time. I've got a lot of Twitter followers. I know thousands of trans people. Out of all the trans people I know, right? And I'm not even talking about know on a personal level, just know in general. Out of all the trans people I know, I can maybe count on one hand how many of them make over $50K a year, right? And that's not even rich, right? That's like what should be like a minimum wage poverty like level, right? So I was baffled by this, right? I was so confused. right? I was so confused. I was baffled by this, right? And then I did some thinking, right? I did some thinking. And then so I came up with a nuanced argument because I looked at this guy's page and I saw this. And I unironically got very sad. So, if you see this image, this guy's pinned tweet, if you look at Buck Angel's fucking page, this guy's pinned tweet, right, is I was born biologically female. I use testosterone to masculinize myself, so I feel more like me. I had a legal sex change, whatever legal means. I don't know what that means, like, whatever. And now live as a male. All male pronouns. I am transsexual and will never be biologically male. But I do live as a male. Simple. Love tranpa. So this guy, literally, his pinned tweet is self-deprecating, self-hating coping mechanisms. Right? And then I click on this, and this is the first thing I see. Awesome, but you're not male. Right? And then you scroll down and look at a bunch of the other responses, and it's like a bunch of TERFs saying, I'm glad you admit you're not really a man, and then a bunch of people saying you're not a man, right? And it's like, imagine living your life for like however old Buck Angel's life is, 40, 50, 60 years, I don't know how old he is, right? But imagine living your life. And it's like every day you have to cope with the idea that you hate yourself, right? And even when your pinned tweet is, yes, I hate myself. And I know that I hate myself. And I know, and I want you to know that I hate myself. Even when that's their pinned tweet, it's still not good enough for bigots. So, I just wanted to say this. So, I wrote this a little bit, and I just wanted to talk about it. So, this is why no matter how many times Buck Angel wants to deny other transgender people's humanity, it is all for nothing. His pinned tweet is self-hating and referring to himself as things he's not to compromise with bigots. Yet, they will never care. Sad. I hope he gets better. And then I pontificate a little bit more. This is this morning after I thought about it. I empathize with Buck Angel on a personal level. I understand having to keep a mask on to please people you think might be your friends. But what he is unaware of is that we don't give two fucks what bigots think in the first place, right? As this guy says, and I could give two fucks what you think. By the way, he should have said couldn't. If you could give two fucks, like what does that mean? If you couldn't, then, you know, that implies that you have like a low, you know, fuck give threshold. So this guy doesn't know basic grammar, but that aside, right? So I say, and we don't give two fucks what bigots think in the first place, and we won't compromise them with them at all. Him using his platform to direct hatred, vitriol, and attacks against poor transgender folks with a small fraction of his audience is just a way for him to try and sit at the cool kids' lunch table. It's the adult equivalent of, but not me, right? So that's my little pontification. Because this guy not only was going after me, right? This guy was going after a lot of my followers. He was like just harassing a bunch of fucking people for no reason. And directing thousands of TERFs to go harass people for no reason. Right? And so this is why I'm gonna turn my heating off because it's starting to get a little warm. But this is why I don't like Buck Angel. Right? I had known Buck Angel was like this, right? But, like, I'd never personally interacted with him, because why would I? You know what I mean? I've never personally interacted with him. So, like, for me to just, like, mute a thread, right? And then to go, like, live my own life, right? For, like, 6 whatever hours, and then I check Twitter, right? And I'm like, oh, whoa, right? As I check Twitter, and I'm like, whoa, buddy. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I shit you not, got hundreds of motherfuckers. Like, saying I'm a rapist or something. And it's like, what? Bitch motherfucker, I've been sexually assaulted before. People have tried to rape me before. It's not comfortable. Right? I can tell you, it's not comfortable. I would never even dream of doing that to another person. But these people think because I'm a trans woman that all of a sudden I'm like an evil primate. Oh, must rape. Like, and it's like, what? What? Right? And so, the idea that this motherfucker would quote tweet me 3 hours later again for the second time to direct more hatred and vitriol against me because his first quote tweet didn't get that much traction. To me, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And again, people cite this guy as like a trans mentor of some kind. He's not a mentor to anybody. What he does is he teaches people to hate themselves. It's unhealthy, both mentally and physically. And this is why I've got a problem with people that platform Buck Angel, right? And I don't want to get too much into that, right? But it's like, this guy is not our friend. He is an enemy. He is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Just like Blair White, who goes on her YouTube show and says, I'm a real trans person because I'm cute and sexy and I got a facial surgery. Everyone else who's ugly, they're not really trans, they're LARPers. It's like, what? First of all, who are you to talk about people's looks, motherfucker? I'm way more attractive than you, Blair White. Second of all, the idea that your gender is based on how attractive you are? What? What? Like, if that's the metric for what your gender is, then there's a lot of cis women that won't be cis women. I guess they're men all of a sudden, right? There's a lot of cis men that I guess they're not men anymore. They're women all of a sudden. If it's based on your level of attraction, on whether or not you're the gender you say you are, then what? You know, like, what? It doesn't make any sense, right? So these people are not mentors, right? They're not like shining lights or beacons. These people are wolves in sheep's clothing. They have made careers by being the token tran who shits all over other poor transgender people for a little bit of that sweet, sweet capitalism. And that's why Buck Angel's like, oh, you're lazy. I did something with my life. You're also like 60 years old, dude. I'm in my 20s. Like, you were saying you're cracked out and suicidal. Like, okay. Well, I'm literally, like, younger than you were at that point in your life. So it's like, what? Like, so the argument doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. These people are fucking ridiculous. They're ludicrous. And again, I didn't have Buck Angel harassing me on Twitter on my bingo card. But goddamn, I wish I did. Because it was fucking funny. So that's my segment on Buck Ass Motherfuck. Still plenty of time to get cracked out. Yeah, as long as I pick myself up by my bootstraps afterward, you know? I'll crack out all day. Crack out and crack on. Anyway, how's everyone going? That's not what it means, Bodan. Like, I appreciate you for trying, but that's not what it means. Buck Angel spoke at our trans conference in NYC. He spoke on being Anne. Buck Angel spoke on a trans conference in NYC last year. He was odd, but not good odd. I bet. The guy's a freak. Like, he hates his own people. It's bizarre. You know, it's bizarre. And then when you criticize him, right? When you criticize him for attacking transgender people, it's like, why do you hate trans people? You know? Like, what? You're the one who's saying that trans people are all lazy and shouldn't be allowed to go into bathrooms? And when we say that you're weird for saying that, all of it, oh, why do you hate? It's the same thing Republicans do. Republicans are allowed to call brown people evil, you know? And instead of brown people, I should say, you know, people of color, of all kinds of, like, races and descents, right? But they call them evil. They're all Muslims. They're all anti-American. And then they turn around when AOC responds and goes like, hey, by the way, you're a little nutso. And then they turn around and go like, oh, why do you hate? Oh. What the fuck is wrong with these people? You know, like, these people are nuts. I'm glad I'm not American. That place is a shithole. America is a shithole country. What's my opinion on ContraPoints? I liked ContraPoints up until a point. Around the Buck Angel controversy is where I noped out. But it's a two-pronged thing. I know she's walked it back, right? But she's also said problematic things after that about non-binary people. I'm not about that life. I'm sorry, right? And also, ContraPoints, now I'm not trying to say that, you know, she's in the same degree of Blair White. Not even close. ContraPoints is, in my opinion, a good person with good intentions, right? But their role, right, what their YouTube videos are about, right, is kind of explaining trans issues to cis people. That's great. That's awesome, right? But I'm not a cis person, and therefore that content's not really for me, right? And so, like, you know, that's my opinion on ContraPoints, right? Do I think she does overall pretty decent job? Maybe, like a net positive, right? But also, you know, platforming Buck Angel and then defending yourself and then, like, Wasn't that when she like quit Twitter for like 3 months or something and said, "Oh, the controversy, I can't." Oh! Like, wasn't that around that point? I don't know. That's just cringy. I'm sorry. It's cringy. It's really fucking cringy. And there's a reason I don't rep ContraPoints. There's a reason I don't recommend ContraPoints. There's a reason I barely talk about her. And that's the reason. It's because, like, yeah, sure. Does she do good introductory content for cis people to understand trans issues? Absolutely. But that's not for me. And I think I do a better job of that if I'm given the opportunity. So. She kind of had a relapse. What do you mean by that, Jojo? Do I stand for leftist unity? I stand for unity with everyone that agrees with leftism as a principle. And when you believe in leftism as a principle, you are anti-racist, anti-bigot, right? Anti-fascist, etc. You are anti-capitalist. You can't be a leftist, but you're skeptical of non-binary people. Sorry, no. You're not a leftist. You're a fascist in sheep's clothing. Right? Plain and simple. Plain and motherfucking simple. You can't be a leftist and say, oh, well, the gay people are a little weird. Nope. Sorry. You're not a leftist. You're a fascist. Plain and simple. Just saying, I believe in universal health care doesn't make you a leftist. Right? You know who else believed in universal health care? Adolf motherfucking Hitler. But he believed in universal health care for just his people. So when you say, oh, yes, I believe in Medicare for all, except, I don't really give a shit if trans people can't get health care. I don't really give a shit about gay people not being able to get healthcare. I don't really give a shit about black people not being treated equally in healthcare industries. Fuck them. I just want my healthcare. That's not leftism. So yes, I believe in leftist unity, but we need to be very clear about what that means, right? And I have no problem if someone says, oh, I've got questions about non-binary people one day, and then 6 months later, they figure it out and they're on the right side. I have no problem with that. It's about growth. It's about learning, and it's about being a better person. You should always strive to be a better person. That's what it's about. So, again, I'm not about, canceling people. If ContraPoints wants to, go out there and publicly apologize and do a huge, rehabilitation tour and say, I'm super sorry for all this, instead of just mocking her critics, which, to my understanding, she just mocked a lot of her critics and said, oh, I'm canceled, even though she, deleted her own thing or whatever. You know what I mean? It's I don't know, man. That's not my thing. It's just, frankly, it's not my thing. Thank you to Natalie for giving me a Patreon subscription. I appreciate that. Yeah, ContraPoint's videos, they're not videos, they're feature-length films. You know what I mean? That's what they are. She was definitely important to my initial understanding of trans issues, but it shouldn't take anyone long to evolve past the need for her content. No, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. That's my opinion. But yeah, I got that out of the way. Damn, I killed a whole hour with that shit. Can we talk about Mocracy, by the way, now that they're gone? Let's talk about Mocracy now. This motherfucker comes into my chat. This motherfucker comes into my chat room. My chat room. Right, this motherfucker comes into my chat room. Not like a popular streamer that ignores the chat. No. Right? This motherfucker comes into my chat room and tries to spew some bullshit. Right? And then as soon as I call them out, they're like, oh, I can't talk right now. The sun's in my eyes. My mom is awake. I gotta get to school. It's I find that adorable. God, that was funny. I'm sure Mocracy will add you on Discord and talk with you this afternoon. Hey, I'm waiting on that $30 pot. I'm waiting. Don't think I'd miss that. Contra's videos are too damn long. That's the only onion on her. Yep. He's in the Discord? Okay. All right. Well, he didn't add me on Discord. I requested that he added me on Discord, and he didn't do that. But we'll see how this goes. I took a psych of human sexuality class long ago. That's where I learned even biological sex is a spectrum. It's not a hard concept, but most people are never taught. Yeah, again, you can't live your life in a fucking binary. Like, again, if you think there's man and there's woman and nothing else, I'm sorry, you're a fucking dipshit. First of all, language created by humans. Right? Language is not scientific. Now, you can have language that is utilized in scientific fashions, but language in and of itself is not scientific. Okay? So, the idea that people think, oh, there's the word man and the word woman, therefore science backs me up, brother. Like, I'm sorry, man. It's just bleh. Entire playthrough of Sunder? Which one? I've done like 3 playthroughs of that. Yeah, I gotta do more Doom videos. I know, I'm so fucking sorry. I found Vosh's trans advocacy to be much more informative to people who don't understand trans issues. I don't watch Vosh, but I mean, I'll take your word for it. Only binary is bosses and workers. Hell yeah. I'm down for that. What I think about 9/11, do I think the government was complicit or allowed it? I think the government could have prevented it and chose not to because they didn't believe it was a high threat. And I think that that basically sums up my thoughts. I think they probably thought, you know, if it happens, it happens. We can make the best of it. And didn't really care or want to put resources into it. Because again, when you put resources into something, that requires actually allocating resources. It requires, you know, actually having people do work. And George W. Bush, if you read that guy's whole history, he is not someone that likes to do work. You know what I mean? He is not a worker. He's the guy that sits with his feet up on the table and says, all right, what's going on? I'm going to go play some golf. You know, like that's the kind of guy George W. is. Now that Abigail Thorne has transitioned, people are saying Vouch is the new positive leftist male role model, and I fucking can't. Are there, I can think of much more positive leftist role models, but I mean, 2019 to 2020? Hell yeah, hell yeah. That's a classic. That's the best one. Are there new Sunder levels since the last one I played? Vouch is alright. He gets far more maligned than he deserves, primarily from butthurt Nazis. Yeah, that's, you know, I'm old. I'm still furious about George W. I barely remember George W.'s administration, but just from reading history. I mean, fuck that shit. And then you have all these liberals go like, oh, he's at the inauguration, oh! And it's like, what? 2000 to 2008 would have been a golden age for America if W hadn't gotten off of cocaine. I mean, maybe. I remember immediately being like, wait, they want to go to war with Iraq? That's bullshit. The first war with them was bullshit too. Yep. My liberal parents hated him at the time, but love him now. Fucking morons. I'm sorry. I don't mean to attack your parents here, but absolute fucking dipshits. Talk about manufacturing consent. Holy crap. Playing through Spyro 3 while watching. PS1 or the remake? No new maps since the last I played? God damn, it's been a while. What the fuck? Now, I don't mean to assault Mocracy on a personal level, but this motherfucker's got a Dragon Ball Super profile picture. I'm sorry. I can't stand Dragon Ball Super. I'm sorry. I'm looking at my Discord right now. Reminder to join my Discord, by the way, in case anything happens. That's the best way to get updates. But this guy's got a fucking Dragon Ball Super avatar. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, motherfucker. Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT. That's the way to go. Dragon Ball Super. I don't do it. I don't do it. In my opinion, D-Ball is better than GT, is better than Z. That's my opinion. We think with words. Try thinking without words. I know. It's incredible. I can't believe it's not butter on my Pop-Tarts. Oh my god. D-Ball is God tier. God bless D-Ball. Greatest hits. Oh my god. ...2000 was the first time I was old enough to vote, and Bush is probably why my political interest took a dip till 2008. Oh well. Damn, y'all motherfuckers are old as hell. I mean, I'm 24, so keep that in mind. If George W. Bush was a doom enemy, what would he be? An arachnotron. And then Dick Cheney would be the spider mastermind. Al Gore actually won the presidency in 2000. Yep, he won both the Electoral College and he won the popular vote. Anything else is manufactured consent. I'm Sam Cedar's age? What are you, like 9,000? Holy crap. Alright, y'all. Let me get into some more news here instead of just reading the chat. I mean, I love reading the chat and all, but, you know. I also love shitting on the People's Party, so. So let me queue up some shite. Gonna queue up some motherfucking shite. Coming up on 39. Damn. It's incredible. D-Ball Super is great, but I'm about to be 34 and I'm
about to be 34 and I have no family. Because my dad had 2 kids by the time he was 27.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, you know what the problem is, though? It's definitely not me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's everybody else.
God, that is an evergreen clip. D-Ball is overrated? I would say it might be overrated, yeah, but it's still good. Things being overrated doesn't necessarily mean they're bad. It just means that, you know, other things that are equally good or better should get the attention that gets, you know? You're 17, Fletcher? Holy crap. You might be the youngest here, actually. 17, holy shit. All right. Wowie. Got 17-year-olds up in this shit. All right. So, the People's Party. Those of you that are not new here will know my opinion on the People's Party. Those of you that may be watching this for the first time may not know my opinion on the People's Party. So, let me introduce myself real quick, and you can read this tweet yourself before I get into it. I am a leftist. I am an anti-fascist, right? I am a communist. I am an anarchist. Those are my political ideologies. First and foremost, my first guiding principle is I'm anti-capitalist, right? Anti-capitalism and leftism, in my opinion, are synonymous. I do not think you can be a leftist without being an anti-capitalist. I do not think you can be a leftist without being a socialist. I do not think you can be a leftist without being a communist, anarchist, etc. Okay? That's my opinion. Now, if you Google all of these words, you will get very similar definitions, very similar end goals, just slightly different routes of getting there. That's really the main difference. But we all agree that capitalism is evil and the root of all evil, right? So over the last couple of months, the People's Party has gained a new influx of attention. And I was first very suspect of the People's Party when they did their podcast in July or August, I think, and they called it the People's Party Convention. And it was basically just a bunch of popular podcasters that were mostly liberals, just talking about how Democrats are mean to them and won't let them on their show. And to me, I found it to be rather insufferable. And now they had good speakers on there, like Cornel West, of course, whom I love, Nina Turner, whom I love. Right now, it's important to note that the People's Party has been attacking Nina Turner, has been trying to sink her congressional campaign for the last 2 months, right? So Nina Turner was on the People's Party Convention, or, it was just a podcast, but she was on the People's Party Convention, gave her platform and her leverage to that to give a more positive worldview for people to understand. And then a couple months later, she runs for Congress and the People's Party attacks the shit out of her. So these people are two-faced narcissists. Okay, you need to understand that. So here's interesting tweets here. And thank you to Jeff Campbell for tweeting this out. Now, this is all stuff that we've known for a little bit. But this has been making the rounds on Twitter. A lot of people are waking up and saying that the People's Party is not a leftist party. Now, what I've been saying, right? Now, what I've been saying for the last 2 months for Force the Vote, right? For Fraud Squad, these are all conspiracy theory networks. That's what they are. This is similar to QAnon. This is similar to, 9/11 trutherism. This is similar to all that kind of conspiracy shit, okay? These are conspiracy theories that are not based on evidence. They're not based on science. To think that AOC had unlimited power and could have gotten everyone healthcare forever because she withheld her vote for Nancy Pelosi, that is purely fictitious. And the whole point of those conspiracy theory networks were to divide people that would otherwise watch shows like mine, right? Or be anti-capitalist, anti-racist, anti-fascist, and make them into thinking that they need to do what I refer to as a red-brown alliance, where they say, oh, we need to worry about class. Yeah, I know that some people who are poor want to murder black people, want to murder gay people, want to murder trans people, but we got to work with them, man. What? Now, in my opinion, I'm not saying that we shouldn't talk to people that are conservative or that are racists or that are Nazis. But what I am saying is, if you are in a position, let's say you're a cis, white, heterosexual man, and you're in the position where they don't want to kill you by default, I think you have the responsibility to try to de-radicalize them. That's what I think. Now, instead of just teaming up with them and saying, we can agree on this and we'll work together, you should try to de-radicalize them from their hatred of minorities and from their desire for things like civil war, for their desire for things like a race war, right? You need to de-radicalize them because, again, in order to be a leftist, you need to be an anti-capitalist. If you let capitalists in your party, you are no better than the Democratic Party, right? So I want that to be understood. So here's a tweet here from August 8th, around the time that they did their convention podcast thing. Hey, MPP's goal is a little different from the Greens. We say we want to be a major new party, not just a leftist party. Greens have a good platform, but I'm not sure it can appeal to red state voters. Now, this is buying into the fiction that there are things such as red states. Red states don't really exist. They're mostly gerrymandered, right? And they're mostly insular. Like, for example, do I think that everyone who lives in Idaho is a racist or a transphobe? No. Do I think a lot of them are? Probably. But I also don't think that anyone is unsalvageable. I think if you were to go in there, if the Democratic Party or the People's Party or the Green Party were to expend, let's say, millions of dollars, right, going in there, teaching people, giving people opportunities, saying, hey, we're the party of $2,000 checks, we're the workers' party, you just, to join our party, you have to understand being racist is not the way to go. You have to understand you have to put those social divisions aside and let's work together. putting social divisions aside doesn't mean, all right, that guy's racist, let's team him up with the black guy. That doesn't mean that. It means let's try to make that guy less racist so that he understands what the real problems are. It's similar to the people that think, oh yeah, the billionaires are the problem, but the billionaires are Jewish. It's like, what? You're so close. You're that close. Yes, wealth redistribution is necessary, and wealth hoarders are problematic. It has nothing to do with Judaism, right? And so that's what you have to do. You have to de-radicalize these people. The People's Party is not interested in that. This is another interesting screenshot here. Howie Hawkins, this was in an interview when he was asked about the People's Party. Well, right now, the Green Party is the only party that's national and trying to build a mass party. PSL is a cadre organization. They're a vanguard party, Marxist, Leninist, democratic centralism. They don't want a mass party. I think they use their campaigns to recruit members, and they've captured the peace and freedom ballot line in California. But they're not doing mass organizing. Now, I'm not trying to take Howie Hawkins' words as gospel here, right? But this is the part that's interesting. Movement for a People's Party, they've been talking for 5 years. They had their online convention this summer. Again, it was a podcast. We talked with Nick Brana in the spring. He was not interested in working with us. When he was asked why we weren't included in the convention, he said we're too socialistic. So, now, a lot of people have been leveraging Force the Vote, the People's Party, Fraud Squad, saying AOC is evil because she didn't give us Medicare for all with her fairy dust. They've been leveraging that ideology and that conspiracy theory network to try to funnel in revenue to the People's Party. There's a People's Party Slack channel, right, where you have people say, I just demanded a refund from Nina Turner and I'm going to put all my money into Jimmy Dore's super chats, or I'm going to put all my money into fundraising the People's Party. This is an elaborate and divisive fundraising scheme. This is a top-down organization. Nick Brana is the God Emperor of the People's Party, right? He bans people from the People's Party at his whim if they have personal disagreements, not on policy. Max, what the fuck? What are you doing? Can you believe it? So Nick Brana does not ban people from the People's Party, let's say, for being racist. He does not ban people from the People's Party, let's say, for being poor organizers. But he bans people from the People's Party if they disagree on what pizza topping is the best. The guy's kind of a freak. He's a control freak when I say that. And he's a narcissist. And he is teaming up with people like Jimmy Dore and Richard Medhurst and Ryan Knight and Brianna Joy Gray and all of these other people, right? Because he knows he can leverage their platform to elevate himself and his party, which, by the way, has existed for 5 motherfucking years, right? And just now turned into a party in California, like literally a couple days ago. They just now registered as a party. So they've been talking and talking and talking and talking for 5, going on 6 fucking years. And they just now registered as a party. You'd think, oh, they started, right, when Bernie Sanders dropped out of the primary, and then they started to do... Okay, well, let's say, all right, you have 4 years until 2020. Let's go. And then 2020 rolls around, and then they just don't do anything. And then Bernie drops out again, and they try to leverage that again. Now they're finally registering as a party, right? They're no longer, I guess, a movement for a People's Party. Now they're trying to be an actual People's Party, right? But the whole thing here is that this is just ludicrous. If you're falling for this, I want to help you. Now, if you don't like the Democrats, I don't like the Democrats, right? I think AOC and the squad are the closest allies we have. Does that mean they're perfect? Absolutely not. But it means they're the closest allies we have. Bernie Sanders is one of the closest allies we have in the whole charade of this electoral, disaster of a democracy. Now, if you say you don't like the Democrats and you don't like electoralism, great. If your answer to that is going to another party, I'm sorry. No. But the answer to that should be organizing unions, organizations, bringing workers together, de-radicalizing workers, maybe like, you know, go salt at a fucking job somewhere, maybe after the pandemic, right? Try to say if a worker there talks about how they don't like trans people, or say, like, you know, try to convince them otherwise, try to unionize a workplace. You know, that's the kind of shit. If you want to build actual class consciousness, that's the kind of shit you can do right now. You don't have to rely on AOC running for Congress. You don't have to rely on Jimmy Dore trying to primary AOC. You don't have to rely on a fucking far-fetched presidential campaign. You don't have to waste your time and energy in that bullshit. You can go enact real change right now that will affect real people in the future. And the People's Party is an energy sink. It's a time suck. And if you're falling for this shit still, then I'm sorry for you. And I hope you're not in too deep. That's what I have to say about that. Fucking People's Party, dude. Max, you're a barky doggy. Look at this guy. Max is a barky doggy. Fucking digging my chili. God. Oh my God.
Everybody digging my chili, what I'm laying down, that is not true.
Ugh. Does the USA have a socialist party? No. Let me play it again. Let me play it again with louder volume.
Everybody digging my chili, what I'm laying down, that is not true.
Fucking digging my chili. I literally cannot believe that was a thing. Well, when I say the US doesn't have a socialist party, I think if you want to count PSL as a socialist party or something, sure. If you want to count like the Communist Party founded in like 1919 as a socialist party, sure. Right? But again, let's be honest about this. They're not going to be winning any elections anytime soon. Right? Like independents that are socialists have had more luck winning elections than socialists that are in socialist parties. Right? So we don't have a party like that that's capable of winning elections. So I'd say DSA is more of a socialist party. They're actually doing on-the-ground organizing. They're not just focused on electoralism, and that's what I like about them. Like, being a political party doesn't mean that you have to focus on getting congressional candidates elected or a president or whatever. It means building your power. If you want to have a 10-year plan, and let's say we'll build power for 10 years, both, like, just not even involving electoralism whatsoever, and we're just going to build power, and then maybe in 10 years from now, we'll run someone for a congressional seat and then win and then run someone. Like, that's an actual strategy. Saying, we're just going to run someone for president, like the Green Party. We're not going to run any people for Congress. We're not going to fund them. We're not going to, like, talk about them ever. We're just going to have a presidential candidate once every 4 years, and we're just going to get some ad dollars and fundraising and, you know, get ourselves some nice salaries off of that. I don't know, man. Absolutely, Stan. Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm saying. Do they have DSA in every state? I'm not sure. What did he mean by digging in my chili? I don't know. That's the thing, is I really don't know what that means. DSA stands for the Democratic Socialists of America. I don't know if I've never heard of digging my chili before. Like, I've just never heard of it.
Everybody digging my chili, what I'm laying down, that is not true.
I don't know what that means. Really, in any capacity? I can't figure it out. I really can't. Again, I've been informed that I should plug myself more often. So I'm going to say thank you for Andreas on PayPal. Greetings from Germany. ... And I'm going to go out on a whim here. Or a limb? Is it go out on a limb? I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume that there's an extra space after the last third dot. Thank you for the dollars. I do appreciate it. Hey, babe. Mind if I dig your chili? But yeah, again, I am demonetized on YouTube. So if you want to give me money via any of the bullshit linked over there, feel free to do so. I'm trying not to starve here, folks. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep alive. Oh, whoops. I almost fucking died. You catch my grift? It's oingo boingo. Everybody digging my chili.
Everybody digging my chili, what I'm laying down, that is not true.
And then they have cans of soup. Soup.
It's just so funny. Everybody trying to dig in my chili. It's incredible. Alright, what else do we got here? Y'all are gonna love this one. Hopefully everyone's having a good day today. Again, if you missed it, I ate breakfast live on stream. So if you want to, like, after the show is over, go scroll back and watch me eat breakfast live on stream. That's going to be the way to go. I also attacked a chatter. I lashed out and abused a chatter in the chat room during that moment. So everybody digging my chili. Oh my god. Someone asked me earlier, and I forgot to respond because I'm a piece of garbage, about whether or not I'm drinking coffee. The answer is no. I have not had coffee for a week now. The last time I had coffee was Saturday morning last week. So day 7. Y'all motherfuckers were out there saying, there's no way Andrea's going to last all week. There's no way. Y'all motherfuckers are out there saying she's going to cave on day 2. Y'all motherfuckers were saying day 2 and day 3, they're the hardest. Y'all motherfuckers were saying you'll never get to a week. Guess what, motherfucker? I got to a week. You want to know why? Because I'm not weak. And that's the story. Livestream, Mike Lindell, OAN. I don't know if I want to get involved in his current affairs at this point because I don't want to get bonked. Because I know he's getting like mass fucking bonked or whatever, and I do not want to get bonked. So, like, I'm fine like doing the fucking Newsmax clip of him getting laughed off the fucking thing or whatever. That's great. Right? But anything more than that, like any source content, given the current state of YouTube and censorship, I'm just going to stay away from it. For the same reason I stay away from talking about a lot of, like, medical stuff. I'm just going to stay away from it because I don't want to get into a bad position. I bet Trump's going to start packing on pounds now that he lost all power. Well, you also have to understand, he no longer has the Diet Coke button. The Diet Coke button has been usurped away from him. Health diet question for me. Hit me. I'll consider it tomorrow, 0 PE. But yeah, like I said a week ago when I got home from my my station in New Ass Jersey, I said I'm gonna quit weed and I'm gonna quit coffee for a week. Now I've decided maybe tomorrow, maybe even today, I'll drink some coffee. Well, actually, I have to maybe tomorrow because I have to set up my cold brew. But I'm just gonna quit weed indefinitely. I'm gonna get back into lucid dreaming. So maybe next week I'm gonna start doing more lucid dreaming videos. Last night I had incredible dreams, and before I get into another news story, I'm gonna just talk about this for a moment. Last night, so now that weed is mostly out of my system. For those of you that don't know, marijuana impacts your short-term memory, and so if you smoke a lot of weed, you will be less likely to dream. And for those of you that don't know, I am a trained lucid dreamer. And so last night I had like my first extremely bizarre. I'm avoiding it. I'm sorry. How bad is alcohol for me? Like a few beers a week. Casual drinking if you're digging my chili. Okay, let me answer that question first. Beer, terrible. If you want to be a functional, healthy drinker, what I would recommend, vodka and diet cranberry juice. Not cranberry juice. Diet cranberry juice with the sugar removed. That, or if you're really, like, if you're a Billy Badass, what you can do is get, like, let's say, lemon-flavored seltzer water, right? It's got, like, a pinch of lemon juice in it. Get some lemon-flavored, or any flavored seltzer water, but my personal preference is lemon. You know, have, like, 1 shot of vodka, 2 parts equivalent of seltzer water, you know? And that, in my opinion, goes down easy. Beer, no good. Do not consume beer on a regular basis. I don't do Jell-O because I'm a vegetarian. And Jell-O is made with animal bones, so that's not my thing. So, but yeah, those are my recommendations. Now, again, a few beers a week isn't going to kill you, right? But like vodka with seltzer or vodka with diet cranberry, that's superior stuff right there. I love lucid dreaming, but these days I usually lucid dream as you gotta get out of that one because you're missing a lot of potential. But yeah, for those of you that don't know, I want to talk about this a little bit because I talked about this a lot a couple months ago, but obviously my audience has expanded a lot. Lucid dreams are really good if you've got PTSD, if you've got depression, if you've got anxiety. So for example, if you have chronic nightmares, one of, if not the best way to overcome that is to learn lucid dreaming. Now, it might sound scary, right? The idea of really investing time into your nightmares, right? It might sound scary, but when you get to a point where you can lucid dream, you will be able to crack yourself out of every single nightmare. So, for example, last night, I had what my subconscious generated what might have been the most horrifying, absolutely horrifying nightmare I've ever experienced, right? And it's so absolutely horrifying on a personal level, I don't want to go into detail, right? But I was able to crack out of that and realize that it was a dream. And this was a nightmare that was like very realistic. There were no like, physical, physics, the laws of physics weren't being broken. It was a very grounded, lifelike dream environment. It was the first half of it until I realized I was dreaming, it was the most horrifying experience probably I've ever had in a dream. But I was able to realize I was dreaming. And once you realize you're dreaming, it's no longer a nightmare. You're no longer scared. And at that point, it becomes a learning experience. Because what dreams are is it's the way for your subconscious to talk about and talk to you with abstract concepts. It's not like, your internal monologue of like, oh, and then I did that, and then I got to work on that. It's not like that. It is a very potentially lifelike way to deal with the demons that may be haunting you. If you've got PTSD or depression or anxiety, or if you have problems with nightmares. So I highly recommend doing that. And I think next week I'm going to start getting hardcore into it again. I'm going to start maybe doing some supplements. Again, I'm going to start maybe leaning into it a little bit more. That kind of stuff. Do those lucid dream goggles help? They have spirographs spinning in front of each eye. No. What I use is a sleep mask. Just use a sleep mask. You know, put it on your eyeballs. And that makes it so that if you accidentally open your eyes during the sleep, and let's say it's like 5 a.m. and the sun's shining and you don't have curtains on or something, or like even when the room is dark, right? Like you can still sometimes see the roof or the ceiling, or you can still sometimes make out shapes. If you've got a sleep mask on, right, and you open your eyes, you see nothing. And so that helps you stay in the dream environment. It's also really helpful if you want to meditate before sleeping. Put a sleep mask on, lay in bed, and just kind of like focus on your breathing and focus on like one subject of like, you know, talk to yourself and say, I'm going to have a lucid dream tonight, you know, count yourself back a little. Don't like use actual numbers, you know. You don't want to put numbers in there because then you put yourself in expectations. You can maybe lean into anxiety. So you want to like just, you know, have like a mantra that you think about, like, you know, think of, you know, what you want to dream about, kind of like focus on that, but try to like, you know, focus on your breathing. You know, there's a lot of shit you can do. But yeah, so I just wanted to point that out because I had a very prophetic experience last night, and I wanted to discuss. Now, I'm not saying the lucid dreaming goggles help, but I'm saying if you're going to spend like $500 on that shit, then don't. You know, that's what I'm saying. This all sounds very Twin Peaks. I love it. I mean, I'm all about exploration of the human brain. In my opinion, one of the greatest evils of capitalism is telling people that we have to constantly be working and we have to constantly be productive. You know, telling people, you know, you got to wake up, you know, early in the morning, get to work. Now, again, I've got a privilege where I do my show at 10 a.m. every day, but, you know, I make my own schedule. For the most part, I'm at home. I have a lot of time to study this stuff. So, yeah. I lost my train of thought there because I started reading the chat. Yeah, so again, lucid dreaming, it's like our society is based around not really enjoying being alive. Like, there's so many beautiful things that we can do as humans, like exploring nature, you know, living, existing, like just being friends with one another, you know, being kind to one another, exploring one's own subconscious, whether it be with the use of like, you know, psychedelic substances or when it comes to lucid dreaming, they're very similar. You know, there's a lot of things that we can do as humans to explore our own brains, but we just never have the fucking time. Right? And so that's why we gotta break out of this fucking capitalist hellhole. All my nightmares happen while I'm awake, like the one where about the reactionary coworker asking if I was digging his chili about MT Green was defending the... Oh my... You're gonna have to stop. Like, you're gonna have to stop, dude. I can't. But yeah, for those wondering, real quick, I made one video. I was gonna do a multiple video series, but then I started smoking weed again, and I'm sorry. I did a yes, here it is. You can watch this. I'm gonna do a part 2, like I'm thinking next week, potentially. And so if you want to check this out and maybe give yourself a little bit of a primer, I give you a lot of good tips in that video. And so if you want a little bit of a primer right now, I'm planning on continuing that this week. So I'm just throwing that out there. Just petting the dog. Gotta go? Alright, Leah. See ya. Your hat in your picture is cool. Which picture? But one of the things about lucid dreaming, before I switch subjects again, one of the things about lucid dreaming that is so beneficial is when you develop the skill, you'll have it for the rest of your life. So like even if you don't do the ritualistic dream practices every single night for your life, you'll still have a bunch of cool dreams every once in a while. Like for example, even when I was smoking weed all day every day, I would still have like maybe one very in-depth, maybe not necessarily lucid, but you know, very in-depth, very therapeutic dream experience at least once a week. I would have lucid dreams, you know, around that too. Like, you know, again, but it's hard to, like, being lucid is not a binary, you know, so it's not like either you're lucid or you're not lucid. So, yeah. Oh, the sun hat. Fun fact, I took that pic. That's a very fun fact. But yeah, so again, if you just dedicate like a solid, you know, I dedicated like around 2 months to it, but if you dedicate a solid 2 months or even like a week or even 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you'll develop the skill and it'll come back to you and it'll be like just a marked improvement on your life for the rest of your life. Like I always say, I'm preparing for the coma. I'm waiting because eventually I'm going to get hit by a car. I'm going to be in a coma for 7 years, right? I'm waiting for that shit. So when I get into that coma, I'm set. I can lucid dream. I can have a good time. You know what I'm saying? So that's my, you know, you never know what's going to happen. And also on that note, you sleep for 33-ish% of your life. So if you're 30 years old, you have been literally motionless and doing nothing for 10 years. Think about that. 10 years you have spent doing nothing. Nothing. Right? So it's like, if you lucid dream, think about that. That's a whole third of your life that you're now going to start exploring. Right? That's a whole third of your life that you're going to be able to use to best your life. You know, that's a whole third of your life that you're going to be using to improve the other 2/3 of your life. You know what I mean? I'd rather be switched off. You say that. You say that. And I mean, if that's your true and genuine position, you know, I'm not going to try to talk you out of it too much. But you say that because I imagine you don't have too much experience with lucid dreaming. Because again, in my like all the lucid dreaming that I've done, like I get deep restorative sleep for the most part. Like there's a lot of techniques you can do to fuck it up, but you can get like deep restorative sleep while exploring your own subconscious. And like again, I'm a content creator on YouTube and shit. So like I've had countless brilliant ideas that I came up with while lucid dreaming. If you're like a musician, if you're like an artist of any kind, right? You can train your body and come up with ideas in lucid dreams. You say you have a brilliant idea for a painting, right? You can train that and then remember that. Let's say you're an athlete, right? And you're trying to like, you know, build muscle and like, you know, like work out a little bit. You can train that in your dreams. You can work out in your dreams and it builds muscle memory because when you're dreaming, you're still moving your muscles. It's just that there's like a switch in your brain that says don't move. So you're still actually getting into the rhythm of things depending on how vivid your dreams are. So you can learn a lot in your dreams. Now, again, you're not going to gain muscle in your dreams, right? But you'll, you know, let's say if you come up with a way to optimize your workout routine or, you know, you get into the flow state quicker or whatever, it's just a way to kind of train that on a psychological level. Could you plan the revolution? Absolutely. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to get on to some news here. So I covered the other day the story of, I believe her name is Jenny Cudd. And during this story, I mentioned that she was at the Capitol insurrection. She is a business owner and a CEO, right? She's not like a poor working class, like economic anxiety. She's a business owner and a CEO. She stormed the Capitol because she wanted to hang the vice president and overturn the election results. So she was charged with a felony, but she asked the court, hey, I planned a Mexican vacation getaway, by the way, in the middle of a pandemic. So, in the middle of a pandemic, she planned to travel to Mexico with her employees to have a bonding retreat in the middle of a pandemic, right? And so, the court, at that point when I covered that story, there was speculation that the court granted the motion. And then I was fact-checked, and that speculation was proven false, that they did not grant the motion, as of a couple days ago. Well, they granted the motion, everybody. Here we go. Defendant Jenny Louise Cudd seeks permission for prepaid work-related travel to Mexico from February 18th, 2021 to February 21st, 2021. See ECF number 13. Neither defendant's pretrial services officer nor the government opposed this request. The court also notes the defendant has no criminal history and there is no evidence before the court suggesting the defendant is a flight risk or poses a danger to others. For these reasons, it is hereby ordered that defendant's unopposed motion to travel is granted, and it is further ordered that the defendant shall provide her itinerary to her supervising pretrial services offer and follow any instructions provided by pretrial services. So ordered, dated February 5th, 2021. So if I were to storm the gates of the Capitol, talk to me about this. Let's say any of y'all are going to storm the gates of the Capitol, right? Attempting to kill the vice president. And then you ask the lawmaker, or you ask the judge rather, hey, can I just, go to Canada or something? No, trust me, bro. Just going to go to Canada real quick. Just want to say goodbye to someone or talk to someone, or, maybe I'll go to Zimbabwe, just want to go hang out. Maybe I'll go to, Russia or so. I just want to go hang out with one of my buddies one last time. Chances are that court is going to laugh at you. They're going to say, oh, who do you think we are? But when you're a white collar CEO of a company, whatever. It's fucking ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. If this doesn't upset you, and my commentary hasn't already, exposed the 2-tiered, 5-tiered, 28-tiered justice system that we live in, then, there's nothing else I can add that would change your mind. I think that's everything I have to say on that matter. It's fucking ludicrous. It's absolutely, utterly ludicrous. And I just can't believe that shit. I really can't. I'm ODing on this white privilege. Same? Fletcher Richmond. I understand you're joking, but just for the sake of, not getting fucked in the ass by big tech, I would definitely not, write that kind of stuff in my chat. Like, I get you, or, I'm just saying that's not something you want to write in a chat room. I'm just saying. Meanwhile, 9-year-old black girl gets pepper sprayed 5 inches from her face while in custody. Yep. I don't know about me, Andrea, because I'm essential. But your dialectical materialist ass is going straight to prison. Do not pass go. Do not collect the super chat. Oh my god. What is CCP? But yeah, that's basically the last story I've got. I'm down to chill with the chat for another 20 minutes or so. Oh, concealed carry permit? Hell yeah. I would love to learn about that shit. Vibe time? Hell yeah, everybody.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
So I want to take a moment here. I know. Right? I know. But let's take a moment here to analyze the video of this. So this is Hillary Clinton in, I believe, 2016, right? Now, obviously, this clip is legendary cringe, right? This clip is legendary cringe. Like, this is going to go down in the history books for the cringiest shit of all time, right? But I want you to look at the faces of these people. I want you to look at, like, the little girls in the back and, like, you know, everyone gets so excited at this. Look at Tim Kaine's face. Just like look at the way that these theoretically unpaid and totally real people react to the most legendary cringe in the world.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go.
And then you see like the giggles, the laughs. Look at that. Oh, they're so excited. Look at that. They're so excited. Look at this guy. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Right. So look at this guy. Right. Look at this motherfucker right here. Look at his face melt with joy when Hillary Clinton says this.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the...
Look at fucking Tim Kaine's grin. And then look, let's go.
Polls.
And they all start clapping. I mean, again, that is the most absurd shit you've ever seen in your life. Like, oh my God. You know what I mean? Like, that is that's going to be in the history books. You know? How do human beings create so much cringe? She thinks it's, you know, the only thing that can really rival that sheer amount of cringe is the Pete Buttigieg dance. Do you remember that? I hate that I know how to spell his name. Oh my God. Do you remember this? Like, do you remember this? Do you remember this? Like, this was not that long ago, y'all. This was not that long ago. What a time to be alive. I mean, motherfucker. Oh no.
And where it should have stopped is at the deal standpoint, where they thought about it.
Oh, my lord. Vocal majority?
No, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
Now, I just want to say I also keep hot sauce in my purse, but that's because I put hot sauce in everything. Reminder, ghost pepper, that shit's my jam. I've been to Florida because I had family that lived down there. And the whole Disney culture, like even on the interstates, like going in from Georgia to Florida, like the whole Disney culture is, my God. Like when you see this, like again, I don't mean to pick on these people, but when you see this, right, and the camera pans to the crowd, right? when you see this, you have to think, what happened in these people's lives, right? Like, what caused these people to show up at this Pete Buttigieg rally, right? What caused them to learn this dance? What caused them? Like, what, like, you want to, like, go back. If I ever developed a time machine and had the ability to study humans, right, and find out what caused something like this, I would love to just pick any one of these people in this room and just, like, watch, like, 5 years prior. Like, you know, like, that's what I would do. Do I eat hot sauce or do I put it on food? Both. Let's just do a white people cringe stream. I mean, I could fill the fucking bathtub with that shit. Maybe they had some really good weed. Like, I literally could not imagine. I could not imagine. Pete Buttigieg, by the way, Secretary of Transportation. Unrelated, but have you reached out to Matt Binder? He said that he wants to have you on a show on Thursday. He said that? Forward him to my email address. This is my email. Tell him to email me. Or tell me what his email is. Because I'm down. I love his show. I don't watch every episode, unfortunately. People linked me a few clips of him talking. Like, I guess someone talked about me in a super chat. But, you know. Definitely tell him to hit me up or give me his email and I'll hit him up. I do remember, but I don't remember him saying he wanted to speak to me directly. I mean, it's one thing to, like, say you got a shout out, but it's another thing to say that, you know, anything else. Let me look. You got emailed Hillary Cringe. Is it Cedar Rapids? Oh, the balloon drop. No. I remember watching this live. This is where my life, like, oh, no. No, not the balloon drop. No. No. I can't. Who does that? That's like a literal robot. Like, just so you know, I'm watching at 1.x. Let's watch this in slow-mo. This is like a literal robot, dude. Like, this is like, a, you know, when the robot glitches, you know? Like, what is this? Let's look at this in slow motion. Whoa! Like, look at her eye. I just... Oh, my... And then Bill looks like he's about to come, dude. Bill looks like he's literally about to come. I just... Keep him, like, for these people, like Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, right? Oh my God, the fire, like the whole thing. They thought, right, at that moment, going through those people's minds, they thought that they had just won at life. Like, they had won everything, right? Like, they were under the impression that they were the winners of the world and that they were going to get whatever they wanted. So again, do I hate Donald Trump? Absolutely. Donald Trump is the worst president in the history of the country. But the silver lining is seeing these people cry on Twitter for the next 4 years. That was like a silver lining that cannot be understated. Like, oh my God. Oh. Fuck me. Bill is always about to come. Oh. It's just unbelievable, dude. It's just unfucking believable. Oh my God. Oh my.
And where it should have stopped is at the deal standpoint, when they thought about it.
Anyway, I'm gonna wrap up here. So again, I just want to say thank you to everyone for, you know, giving me money and all that crap, and, you know, having my back during this moment of YouTube demonetization. I say as I look at my phone, not even looking at the camera. The 96 DNC was nuts. Yeah, with the fucking Macarena or whatever. Right? Like, but, I do really appreciate it. Again, join my Discord. Follow me on other social medias, just so if anything does happen, you can keep up. And I feel good, positive. Reminder, whatever your next meal is, make it healthy, make it good, get some nutrients up in there. Reminder, for breakfast, I drank soy milk out of a Jack Daniels glass, and I had a Quest bar. That was my breakfast. Can't beat it. I mean, you could beat it, but you can't beat it. So, there you go. You just ate a brownie? Well, okay. Anyway, I really do hope that everyone has a good rest of your day. And you know, again, I appreciate everyone for showing up. It means a lot to me. I appreciate everyone that, like, you know, tweets me out and says, like, oh, yo, buddy, you should watch this stream. I love it. Like, that's one thing that for me is, like, really bizarre. Is that there are people out there, independent of me, that, like, recommend my stream to other people. Like, that's, I can't even imagine. Yeah, I mean, tell Matt Binder, like, email him and give him my email, or give me his email, or send him a message or whatever. You know, feel free to set that up, because, you know, either if he comes on my show or I go on his show, whichever. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that's a win-win. Not even that, but a win-win. A win, no less. Give my plugs. Well, if you want to give me money, I've got a Cash motherfucking app. As you can see, the link is up there. But I will post them in the chat so that y'all can just click them. Because I know that y'all don't want to type in cash.app in your fucking bullshit. I don't want to type it in. Right? So if you want to give me cash on Patreon, cash.app, paypal.me, HMU, and that's it. Again, anything and everything helps. Even if it's like $1, even if it's like $2, it all helps me out. Because, you know, it's more than anything, it's an anxiety reliever. You know, because again, when I got demonetized the other day, you know, I'm thinking, again, January, I made 4 times the amount of cash I did in January than I did in December. I made a lot of money on YouTube in January. And a lot of that was super chats, right? And again, YouTube takes a 20% cut of super chats. So imagine if instead of giving me super chats, right, and YouTube just stealing some of that money, imagine if it was all on PayPal. I would have gotten even more, you know. So I'm just saying that, like, or Cash App or Patreon or whatever. So I'm just saying, I don't trust YouTube as far as money goes. And so, you know, if you don't trust YouTube either, I mean, that, in my opinion, is only beneficial to the creators that you want to support. Gives you props like Carrot Top on Majority Report chat every day. Is it really? I mean, that's amazing. I gotta start watching Majority Report live. I gotta start participating. I'm like, you know, after this show, I normally have other shit that I gotta do, you know? Like, if I were to stop the show at 11:30, I might be able to watch the Majority Report live, but I just watch the archives. So I'm so sorry about that. But either way, I'll start sending you money in Doge. Hell yes. Hell yes. If you want to send me money in Doge or other cryptocurrencies, what is Doge at right now? How much money have I made in the last 2 hours? Yo, Bitcoin's at a nice 40K. Holy shit. Doge at 5 cents. Up, up, up. 5.1 cents. Holy crapola. It's incredible. It's incredible. It seems the general crypto market is doing really well. Now again, GameStop, gonzo in the tubes. AMC, gonzo in the tubes. But Doge has been very fucking resilient. Send the PayPal address. Here. You just click on that link. Can I appeal it? No, I cannot. Go watch my latest video on the subject because, again, Ford Fisher got demonetized and then he got a Fox News article about him and then he immediately got remonetized. Interesting, right? But everyone else so far has been left in the dust, including myself. I wish I had invested in Doge. Binder talked about that too. I gotta watch Binder's show more. I like his show, but he usually gets on when I'm asleep, you know. Might be good to buy 500. Well, first of all, don't put any money in anything that you can't afford to lose. Do I accept other countries' currency? I believe PayPal auto converts, Fletcher. I'm pretty sure if you use PayPal.me and use your local currency that it'll automatically convert. I don't know about Cash App. I know Patreon can convert foreign currency as well. But I'm not sure about Cash App. I just got a Cash App like 2 days ago. Can I start a new account? No, I cannot. In order to apply for monetization, you need to have 1,000 subscribers and like a bunch of watch time. So I could theoretically make a new account and then it would take like 2 weeks to get remonetized maybe. But again, I'd rather just click the reapply button in 30 days or like 27 days and see how that goes. Do I accept cans of Dan Bongino's chili?
Everybody digging my chili, what I'm laying down, that is not true.
All right, y'all. Again, I want to say that I love each and every one of you on a deep, as far as I can become, and interpersonal level. I appreciate you for existing. You're all beautiful people, and I know that you're going to go on to do beautiful things with the rest of your lives. And I hope that I can be a part of that. I hope that you can be a part of that for me. I hope that we can all do the best things that we're capable of doing. And, if you do have to, do things you don't want to do, try to make the best of it. Get through what you need to get through. And we can build something really nice here. I'm addicted to this parasocial relationship. Well, thank you. That's good for me. So... Again, I'm just super grateful that I met all of you. I'm super grateful that you're all here listening to me say goodbye for like 30 minutes because I don't know how to say goodbye. I'm really bad at hanging up on things. For whatever reason. What time do I stream? I stream every single day, 7 days a week at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard. So 2 hours before right now is when I start my stream every day, 7 days a week. Sometimes I do streams in the evening, but I'm going to be honest, I've just got so much else on my plate right now. I know Bodan is thinking, where's Doom Eternal? I know, I'll get there, I promise. But for right now, I've got a few things on my plate. But again, I just, I don't know how to appreciate, I don't know how to say it in any other terms at the moment. But I really do appreciate y'all for showing up. And I hope you enjoy my introductory experience, which I'm told is not a word. I'm told the introductory experience is not a word, so... what day is today? Is it Saturday? Yeah, Majority Report's not even on Saturday. Y'all are talking about see you in the Majority Report chat. It's fucking Saturday, motherfucker. There is no Majority Report. Fucking dumb fuck. I'm just... Y'all, come on, man. Anyway, thank you. And, I'll see y'all again. Tomorrow is Sunday Run Day. Sunday Run Day, every single Sunday, I do video game speed runs. So for those of you that don't know, for example, here's a video game, Muppet Race Mania on the Sony PlayStation. I'll speed run the fuck out of that shit. Here's another game, Goober, for the Sony PlayStation. Right? I'll speed run the fuck out of that shit. Right? So it's like, I'm a speedrunner. That's what I used to do before I got into politics, is I used to speedrun. And so every Sunday, I do speedruns of various games. And so if you don't like video games, that's fine. If you want to tune up and when I play video games, I'm also down to just do a question and answer. I'm down to talk about any subject. I'm down, like, if you want to come in and talk philosophy, I'm down. Like, I'm an open book when it comes to that stuff. So, you know, tune in tomorrow. And I usually start that around 3 or 4 p.m. and just go up until I get tired, basically. I don't know what I'm going to play tomorrow, but I usually figure that out in the morning. So maybe I'll let you know on tomorrow's Above It All. If not, I'll let you know at some point. You'll find out at some point. And again, I appreciate all of you. I'll see you again tomorrow. So that's it. There you go.
And by the way, I don't think that's some grand conspiracy. I think this is sort of what power is. I mean this at a sort of high level.
Everybody digging my chili, what I'm laying down? That is not true.
Oh, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the votes. Those votes were put there a number of hours before.
They had a very bad original concept.
What happened is that the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. What happened is that the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting...
Artillery examine the terrain. Watch a campaign with the man Tim Kaine. Tim Kaine in the membrane. Kaine in the membrane. Kaine in the membrane. Tim Kaine in the membrane. Tim Kaine in the membrane.
Not good. Believe me, not good.
You will file articles of impeachment against President Joe Biden.
They're not accountable to anyone. I get 10 to 12 million views a month, and they won't come out and
And by
address
the way, I
my
don't think that's
progressive
some grand
audience. They won't
conspiracy.
come
I
out and
think this
address
is sort of
Bree's
what
audience,
power
or
is. I mean
Katie's
this
audience,
at
or
a
Justin
sort of
Jackson,
high level.
or you. They are not accountable to us. They're accountable to the whoever the fuck
we can talk
themselves.
about Jimmy
Let's not
Jimmy
kid
Garfield killed 15
ourselves.
kids
As
tomorrow,
Chris Hedges
and I
taught
still
us a
believe in
long
forced
time ago,
vote.
the people who
They had a
draft
very
politics
bad
are the most mediocre of
original
people.
concept.
They're not your friends.
It was
They're
carried out
elected
poorly,
servants. And
and the
start
cover-up
fucking
was
treating
one of
them
the
that
worst
way.
in the history.
I hear Brownie is
Very
seconding you in the background.
They're
Bad
not
deal.
your fucking
Should have never
friends.
been thought
They're
of.
the people standing in between us and
Somebody
fucking
really messed
healthcare.
up.
They're putting their fucking
They had the
personal
worst cover-up
position
ever.
ahead of that. Don't fucking
And where it
forget
should have
that.
stopped is at the deal stand when they
Who are
thought
you
about
talking
it.
about?
Because whoever thought of that idea.
I'm talking about anybody who's a progressive in
He's in big
Congress
trouble.
who isn't endorsing hashtag
Get your
the vote.
words straight,
All those
Jack.
motherfuckers who
Get
didn't
your
show
words
up
straight,
today
Jack.
at our town hall. Every fucking one of them is selling you out and canceling you for their own personal gain. They're not accountable to anyone. I get 10 to 12 million views a month, and they won't come up.
Dumb people, liberal people,
Look, talk about education. I propose that what we take is those very poor schools, the Title I schools, triple the amount of money we spend for 15 to 45 billion a year. Give every single teacher a raise, an equal raise, getting out the $60,000 rate. Number two, make sure that we bring in to help the teachers deal with the problems that come from home. The problems that come from home. We have one school psychologist for every 1,500 kids in America today. It's crazy. The teachers are accountable. I'm married to a teacher. My deceased wife is a teacher. They have every problem coming to them. We have to make sure that every single child does, in fact, have 3, 4, and 5-year-olds go to school, not daycare, school. We bring social workers into homes with parents to help them deal with how to raise their children. It's not that they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear words. A kid coming from a very poor school, a very poor background, will hear 4 million words fewer spoken by the time they get there. There's so much. I'm going to go like the
So you
rest of
said
them.
you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated
I gotta
either
go.
the lowest
Let me
or
respond.
almost the
There's a lot to
lowest in your
respond
class.
here.
Don't ever use
Let's
the
get
word
something
smart
straight.
with me.
You shouldn't
Don't
be
ever use that
disappointed.
word.
But I've done so
Because
far
you know
more
what?
than anybody else
There's
has done
nothing
this
smart
far.
about you, Joe.
Okay, number 1. Number 2. I mean what I say when I say it.
Figuring out whether you're
I
for
mean
me or
what I
Trump,
say when I say
and you
it.
ain't black, and you
I'm
ain't
the
black. But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.